A very good morning to one and all present here. I hope the audio is okay. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I would like to seek the permission of our convener to please start this FDP.
Yes, Professor Simran, ma'am. Yes, please continue it.
So good morning, everyone. Today is the third day of our online national level faculty development program. We've gathered here to participate in this research and innovation ecosystem FDP. Through this, we aim to enhance the knowledge and awareness of current scenario of research in India. This FDP has been possible through the blessings of our chief patron Sri Tarseem Singh, our patron Sri Surendra Pal Singh, and our principal convener, Professor Dr. Priyadarshi Jaruhar sir. The key highlights of this FDP include researching funding from DST, especially from private engineering colleges, IPR and patents, publishing a good research paper, international funding, patents, building a sustainable research ecosystem for the college, and an interdisciplinary approach to solve new research problems, and lastly, working well in limited resource research field and competing with new emerging research fields. I would now like to request our convener, Professor Dr.
Okay. Thank you, Professor Simran. Once again, a very warm welcome to all of you in third day of FDB program, and a very good morning to all the participants, the eminent professor and researcher from different reputed organizations, and all my dear colleagues. We are very fortunate to have you here today. For this, thank you so much, and a lot of gratitude from bottom of my heart. As we know that this FDB program, Research and Innovation Ecosystem, is a multidisciplinary tab in which people from different discipline and different area of interest has been brought together. It will enhance knowledge and awareness of current scenario in research in India. And as we know that the key highlights of our FDP program is how to get research funding from various funding agencies like DST, especially for private engineering colleges, and how to get international research funding and patents, and how to publish a good research paper, how to build a sustainable research ecosystem in the college, and how to compete in new emerging research field, and many more. So on behalf of GGSTC, I would like to welcome our respected Professor Dr. Vikas Gosal sir from Mechanical Department of GGSTC. He has done his MTech from NIT Durgapur and PhD from Jadavpur University. He has worked as a HOD for more than 7 years. He is having more than 21 years of teaching experience and 14 years of industry experience in very reputed organization. He is an eminent educationist and researcher who has published more than 7 research papers in international and national reputed journals and in many other conferences. He is having 2 book chapters and 2 patents. So, respected sir, please enrich us with your precious view in this FDP. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, everybody. Myself, Dr. Vikas Gosal, Professor Mechanical Engineering, GGSTC. Honorable Director, GGSTC, Dr. Priyadarshi Jaruhar sir, respected participants. First of all, I thank the organizing committee for giving me the opportunity to say something on this FDP on research and innovation ecosystem. I also thank Dr. Akash Ayo for my introduction. Let me start my presentation. I think slides are visible. Now, topic is how to write a good research paper. How to write a good research paper. Yeah. The first, before writing a good paper, research paper, selection of journal is very important. UGC list of journals. UGC list of journals means is UGC approved list of journals in your area of research must be selected to get credit points in any type of assessment. And after making a list of 5-6 UGC list in your area, you follow the impact factor of the journals from the journal's website. Higher the impact factor, higher will be your credit points. Impact factor, I think, it's okay. Let me explain what is impact factor. Actually, the papers which are published, these are read by the researchers and academicians. And this reading, after reading, they sometimes write their own papers and cite. Cite means they make a gist of the contents of the paper with the author's name. So that is called citation. So number of citations of all the papers in the journal divided by citable papers, that is called impact factor. Higher the impact factor means actually that journal is followed by many researchers. So that's why more valuable. So judicial selection of journal is necessary according to quality of your research. If you think that your research is of good quality, you select the high impact factor journal. Otherwise, your paper will be returned or rejected. An example like this, I am from the manufacturing side. So I have initially selected this type of journal. I have selected reputed journals also because all my papers are in international reputed journal. The impact factor is very high. Some papers are 15, some papers 10, 8, like this. So these are just minimum level of impact factor. But still, whenever you are writing a paper, you select at least 10 or 5, maybe the papers which are in your area or scope. Then see the impact factor. And keeping a higher impact factor, first choose it, and you have to send to this paper for getting valuable inputs from the reviewer. If it is good, it will be published. Otherwise, they will return it with some comments. Comments means suggestions for improving your paper. So nothing is lost there. Okay. Now, before sending your paper, see the journal's aims and scope so that your area of research exactly fit to the scope of the journals and aim of the journals. Otherwise, time will be lost. The scope means actually area, just like examples is design, maybe design area, manufacturing area, micro manufacturing area, nano manufacturing area, maybe medicine area, agriculture area, like this. That is scope. Now, once you have selected the journal, structure of the paper must be in line with the prescribed format. This format is given in the in the website of the paper journal. So therefore, you have to follow exact format. Now prepare your research. If you have already research data available, prepare them in the tabular form with name, the number of tables, the table 1, table 2, like this, and also a heading of the table, indicating some contents of the table. Similarly, figures. All figures must be numbers and must have caption. And it has to be expressed in terms of few words which indicates the content of the figure, like this. So table's figure must be mentioned in the text also with reference to the number. Go through the recent journal papers, at least 10 numbers to know the status of your research in the chosen area. then you will be able to find your research area in the gap. After research gap, you have to find the research gap. If it's already published, your paper will not be published in that area. So you have to find the research gap. Once you find the research gap, then you have to choose some of the research area example. Follow this one. Right now, burning problem is the pollution, global warming. So these areas are very hot topics. The renewable energy technologies like solar energy, wind energy, research problem in agricultural sectors, agricultural practices, soil management, productivity, etc. For civil engineering, infrastructure development, there is the new efficient transport system, road making, waste management, good eco-friendly building, that is the energy saving buildings. This area, similarly healthcare, medical devices, improvement in medical devices, health monitoring systems, water management, water purification, because water water is going to become a very valuable in the near future. So this is burning topic. So some may go water purification, water management area. These are the area of research. I just want to mention. Researcher may take his own area of research, as already described by Dr. Karim. Research paper may be in the survey area, maybe case study, review paper, short articles like this. So these are my, on behalf of me, these are the examples. Now, find the research gaps. Once you find the research gap, after review of 10 papers, content of the papers, think of your resources, of the lab facilities, measurement facilities, to finalize your title of research. Now you start the writing of research paper. Once you have done something, that is done your research data is available with you, then you can write paper. So let us start the writing of the paper, starting from this title. The contents of the research area or investigation area, that details of the paper must be expressed in a single line. That is called title. Title actually tells what is the content of your paper. A single line expresses the contents of the whole paper. So this should be specific and to the point. Now next is abstract. Abstract is actually very interesting and easily understood. Without going through the details of the paper, if the reader goes through the abstract, he will be able to make an idea what is the content of investigation, but what are the contents that is described within the paper. So abstract must contain the objectives of the paper and investigation results with clear objective, because your number of words are limited, maybe 150. Some papers may allow 200 words. So that is the abstract. Next is keywords. You have to express your journal, your paper in a 4 to 8 words. Generally 4, maybe you can use up to 8 keywords. The words are generally scientific words which are repeatedly used in your paper. And through these words, actually, the indexing services like PubMed, Google Scholar, Web of Science, they actually find your article online, because so many databases, so many 50 lakhs of journal papers are there. So out of these databases, they will find your paper by these keywords. So keywords are also very vital. And next is introduction, section 1. You have to write like this, section 1, introduction. The introduction, recent development in the research area, you have to describe in words, in sentences. Then you have to give the literature review. Just I have told you at least 10 papers, maybe 20 papers like this. Content of the paper along with the author's name that you have to give in the literature review section within this introduction. Finally, after finding the research gap, you have to mention that this area, still no research has been done in this area. Then write your you have done this, this is the objective of my research. Then conclude it like this. Next, section 2, the principles behind your research. There may be some laws, physical laws, whatever may be, chemical area, chemical laws, that you have used repeatedly, but principles behind these laws you have utilized many times. So you have to mention here all these. Also mathematical derivation, that is called governing equations. Governing equations that you have to derive at this section, section 2, principles. Now, once you derive all these, you have to number all the equations, equation 1, equation 2, like this sequentially. The developed, if your subject is on experimental area, you have to give the figure of the experimental setup, even a part by part figure, and you have to deeply describe it. Then research, section 4, research methodology or design of experiments. They describe all types of instruments, also measuring instruments, calibration date, and the methods followed for the experiment that you have to describe clearly, because the reviewer may reproduce your experiment the same way as you have described. That's why everything should be clear. Otherwise, your paper may be rejected. Or reviewer may ask for that you have not mentioned that this, like this. So there is the chances of return. So that's why you have to mention here. And it is important to get maximum realistic information with the minimum number of design experiments, because experiments involve time, machine, costly machine, material, all these. So that's why you have to minimize with the minimum number of experiments. You have to get the maximum realistic information. So that's why you have to design your experiments scientifically. It is the experimental program recognizes major factors that affect the outcome of the experiment. Factors means input variables which influences the output. The factors, you have to identify some of the important factors either from the past experience, or literature review, or your idea. Okay. Then most important among these to be identified from literature or experiment. Describe, change it. The special terminology related to experiments is the response variable. Response variables means the output actually. The measured output value is called response variable. Factors already explained, this is input variable which influences the response. Levels means actually specific values of factors. Voltage is one of the factors. So the voltage three level, 4 level, sometimes it is taken. That is 1 volt, suppose at a gap of another 2, that's 3 volt, 5 volt, 7 volt. These are levels. These are levels of factors. So that is factors. Replication means repetition of the experiment. Sometimes experiments is repeated to get the more accurate results. Now interaction means one variable, level of one variable affects the output depending on the another level of another variable, that is called interaction. Now, design of experiments, statistics-based approach is generally used to design the experiments. Based on these statistical, we get a predictive equation. That means initially you can predict also what will happen if I use this variable, this value. So that prediction is given by this statistical analysis. Now, ultimately, optimization is one of the objectives. So therefore, optimization is done on the basis of regression analysis. Now, major approaches to design, these are the, generally these designs are followed either factorial design, the Taguchi method, it's a response surface design. You can follow, this is my suggestion, you can follow the book, that is Design and Analysis of Experiments by Douglas T. Montgomery. Montgomery Wheeler India publication. Cost is around 500, not that costly. The book explains very well the factorial design, Taguchi method, etc. And actually, ultimately, you have to use the software. Getting the basic idea, you have to use software. Minitab software is available. Any other software you can use. And this is just example. 2 to the power k factorial design. That only two levels of a variable is used, maximum and minimum value. Maximum value, another minimum value. K means number of variable. Suppose there is 3 variable, so 2 to the power 3, that is equal to 8. That is 8 experiments will give you preliminary idea which factor is most important, and you can get the approximate idea of your optimization. So therefore, for preliminary experimentation, this 2 to the power k factorization factorial design is very important. And many researchers using this. And levels I have already told you, variables levels only lower value, another higher value. Lower value is denoted as -1, higher value is. So this way, suppose 3 variables A, B, C, as already I have told you. The 3 variables, so therefore k is 3. 2 to the power 3 means 8. So 8 experiments I have already mentioned, trial experiments, 8 numbers. How these experiments are taken? Now A lowest value, B lowest value, C lowest value, all variables taking their lowest values together. Output will be Y1. Similarly, all variable ABC, highest value is taken, highest, and the output is Y8. In between, there is the variation. But one is lowest, another is highest. Another is lowest, 2 lowest, 1 highest, like this. So there are total 8 experiments that gives a clear picture about your outcome. So that is output matrix, Y1, Y2, Y3, like this, I have already explained. Sometimes the maximum or minimum is denoted by, already I told you, minimum is -1 and maximum one is denoted by 1. This will also represent it. And the outcomes are represented as Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4, like this. The experimental result, this is section 5. Section 5, the experimental result and analysis. So whatever result you have got, you summarize this result in a tabular form, and then you go for its analysis, statistical analysis, or by graphically you explain output, how the output is varying with the input variable, that you have to explain, and also describe clearly with explanation. If your explanation is not satisfactory, your paper may be returned. So variation of experimental output with the variation of inputs are graphically explained. Then regression analysis is done for optimization by statistical software like Minitab. The degree of contribution of each variable A, B, C, this is also calculated. That is the regression equation already told you. This indicates output based on the variables, X, B, these are fractional values, numerical. So this type of equation will be derived. This software will give you everything. And if you get your initial experimental data, the software will explain all these 8 output like this. Then your contribution of each variable, that is also calculated like this. This is total sum of squares. Deviation square, I think everybody has learned this, but you go through the treatment of statistical analysis. So from there you will get basic idea, then you can use the software for designing your experiments. And once you get the result in a tabular form, from there you can analyze the data with the help of the statistical software, SPSS or Minitab, as I have already told you. Like these 8 experiments are available. From these, actually, you will get your contribution of each parameter, SSA. sums of squares, S, variable A, similarly SSB, SSC, all variables these were calculated, and these indicate contribution of each factor. Some factors have 50% of contribution, some has only 5%, like this. So that you can get idea which factor influences your output most, like this. So clear picture is available from this one. Ultimately, from the regression analysis, you will get your optimum value. Optimum value means at which optimum value of variable A, variable B, and variable C, your output will be optimum. Okay. Sorry. नहीं क्या बंद कर दे क्या थोड़ा देख ले अच्छा you can use also Taguchi method. Many of the authors have used Taguchi method instead of factorial design. Taguchi method is very easy also. You can use the Taguchi method in the same software. Minitab software, there is an option. If you select the Taguchi method, select first initial Taguchi method, then we'll go to the design factor. You mention the number of variables and mention your number of factors, level. So you will clearly get the table, how many experiments you have to done and which parameter, which value has to be taken, like this. So that is design. 2 minutes क्या is this the examples like this? The suppose key voltage, pulse frequency, concentration. These are three variables, and that influence our chemical machining, electrochemical micro machining. That's why I use this. So it's these are denoted like A, B, C. The value, that is voltage value 2.6, 3, 3.4. These are levels. As already table, the levels you mentioned. This way you have to initially decide which levels, how to select your levels. You yourself have to select the levels. From that, you get this type of tabular design. And once I get the design, the value which is to be given input, that is also available from the experimental design of tables. And from this output you will get, and outputs are this is the output. Output may be material removal rate, like this. Output may be many things. So one of the output I have taken is overcut. These are the output, overcut. And from this SN ratio, signal to noise ratio is calculated. On the basis of signal to noise ratio, you can tell the contribution of each factor, and which one is, after this regression analysis, give you the optimum value, like this. This one the give you ANOVA, analysis of variance. This will be calculated on the basis of software. So these are the steps, I think. Yeah. Now the conclusion portion is there. It's last section, that is conclusion. Now in the conclusion part, state the main findings and their implications sequentially. 1, 2, 3. Main investigation. You have done this. You have to explain this, like this. And finally write how your findings have influenced your the current research level of research. That means advancement. Okay. Then finally, towards two sentences or three sentences regarding future scope. In this line of experience, once you've done, you will have some idea, and you only eligible to prescribe that this area may be further research, may be continued on this area. Okay. That is called scope of research. Now, finally, the uploading of paper. Before uploading of paper, registration of the first author, maybe second author is necessary. Choose the appropriate title, as already I have told. Abstract, choose at least 150 words, maybe up to 200 words. Then some reputed journal ask you to make a highlights and novelty of the paper in a few sentences, 4, 3, like this. So you mention these highlights of the paper, that is novelty. Then main manuscript will be uploaded, and sometimes some papers ask you, some journal ask you to name a few reviewer suggestion of reviewer. At least 5 reviewers' name is also asked for. Now this is the example of reviewer. What type of comment you can expect after sending your paper. These are the area, originality, how much originality, this is good. Given review, one of the reviewer has given, maybe good, maybe bad, maybe satisfactory, like this. Significance, scientific relevance है कि नहीं, the completeness, acknowledgement of the work of other, that is reference section is very important. I have already told you at least 10 papers should be reviewed clearly, and that should be mentioned. That's why that is very important. Acknowledgement. Then organization, how you have organized your paper, clarity. Every sentence should be easily understood. Otherwise paper may be rejected. So that's the clarity of tables, graphs, illustration. And finally, this is the whether it is technically good or bad, equation check किया कि नहीं, जो reviewer responsibility दिया जाता है, वो check करते हैं हर equation को numbering हुआ कि नहीं, फिर your representation ना free, these are the brief और descriptive title देना चाहिए, abstract के बारे में भी comments मांगता है, it should be objective, scope and result देना चाहिए, very short, briefly. Finally, recommend करते हैं either accepted or not accepted or resubmission after modification. This type of suggestion you can expect. Okay, thank you. This is my turn. Any questions?
Good morning, sir.
Yes.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yes. This is Dr. Manojit Dev from Physics Department.
Yes.
Sir, somewhere I saw some Q1 and Q2 level of the journal. What are the basic difference, sir? Can you please explain? Q1 journal and
Q2
Q2
journal.
journals?
Q1 is the
Yes,
highest
yes.
level of journal. Q2, Q3 like this. Then lower level. Then this is the level. Generation of journals have been done on the basis of Q1, Q2, Q3 like this. Top grade journals are
Okay.
papers have highest impact factor. These are generally within Q1, Q2, okay, Q3, Q4 like this. So your aim should be higher level. If you even if you send your quality of paper is not good, still you have sent to good journal. But at least if it is reviewed, reviewers maybe 2, maybe 3, they will give you suggestions on the basis of size, and you can improve your paper. That is the aim. It is nothing lost. Okay.
Yes.
Oh.
And sir, another question is there.
Yes.
That how one can calculate this impact factor of the journal, that high impact factor, how could I calculate, or how
That is
could I
one
get that impact
number of times the papers of journal have been cited divided by
Yes.
number of citable papers. In a journal, suppose it has 20 papers, out of these 18 has been cited this time, some has been cited 10 times. All citation multiply karo, divided by number of citable papers, that is 20. This gives you impact factor. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I would like to request all the participants to switch on their videos for a group attendance.
Yes, Professor Simran ma'am, please tell something about the vote of
Are we
thanks.
good to go, sir? Okay, sir.